Hello y'all, how y'all doing? It's Toki. Um, this I'm gonna make a Feng God. This might be part one for sure. Um, this Feng God is how to counter Feng mostly, and what you should be looking out for. Because I feel a lot of people don't know how to deal with certain things with Feng. I do want to say the way I play Feng and go about him is a little bit different than most other Fangs. But I'll try to cover the other stuff too. But mostly, it's just key moves and how to deal with them. And what are you supposed to be looking out for against Feng Wei? So first of all, um, what's his mind game off his like jab, DF1, and his pokes. So when it comes to Feng Wei, his jab, 10 frames, it's +8 on hit, and let's check it out on block. On block, he's +1, right? So, what a Feng Wei player most like, what I'll be doing, I'll be starting off a lot with jabs, feeling out the opponent, see how he's doing, do some little pokes and stuff, right? Worst thing you can do in my opinion is retaliate a lot versus Feng. I wouldn't do that too much because he has very like powerful get off me tools. Like, hey, he's gonna shut you down. Hey, stop that, So, and I'm gonna show you what he could do and how you gonna deal with that. So, say you do a jab, his +1, you try to interrupt him, right? He can just simply back one, and now you're gonna eat 44 damage for trying to retaliate with your jab. That's what's mostly gonna happen right there. And if you cannot, he can also do it off his DF1. So if you try to retaliate with a jab, his back one's you're gonna, even though you did a 10 frame, even though you're neutral right here, 0, right? Basically, it can be anybody's game. If you try to do your safest option, like a jab, you take your turn back, he can just say nope, and then again you're eating 44 damage counter hit. So that's how they would do if you're retaliating with a high, especially if you do a mid. And it can be a fast mid, you can have Feng do his back 4. You can also have Feng do his own DF1. Usually DF1s are 13 frames. And the fastest mids are usually 12 frames. So DF1, shut it down because it's slower. 12 frames, boom, get shut down. Alright, let's go back to if the opponent does a high. If the opponent does a high, this is what I'll be looking for. I'll be trying to go under it. Down back 3, down 2, down back 3, down 2. Or you can simply step and try to whip punish your linear move. Right? So that's how I go about it. If my opponent does a high, I'll probably try to interrupt it on my +1 jab. DF1, same thing. Back 1. If they do a high, if I know they're gonna do a high, if they do a jab string, like say you try to do like a 1-2 or a 2-hit jab string or a 2-hit string, right? That's that's a high. He's gonna get what I call the counter hit down back 3 animation, which gives him 32 damage. Of course, he'll still also just go under with down 2. And he can manipulate you by moving as well. He can just move and just kill you. Alright. But yeah, he can also, when it comes to Feng, the game kind of tells you with most of the characters, not just Feng, how these moves are supposed to be used. I'm gonna introduce you one of the best lows in the game, down 4, pretty good damage. It's 7 damage on hit, really good round ender. And again, as you can see, it's neutral on hit, It's very important. That means he can again run the same mind game. If you try to jab there or do something too slow, 10 frames and slower, he's gonna beat you out. See? And if you do again down 4 into down back 3, he gets the counter hit. Down 4 into down 2, down 4 into movement. And he can punish you for doing linear stuff. For example, if he does like if the Feng player does like a DF1, he can just step in as well, because that's very linear. Some DF1s are linear to one side, so if the Feng player knows what side your DF1 tracks to, and he steps to the opposite, you will die. All right. So you might be asking, what can you do? What you have to do as the player, you have to move. I recommend sidestepping to the left, because you will shut down most of his powerful moves, like back 1 and down 2. You will not be able to step down back 3. And that's when a special technique that high level players will try to do will be sidestep right duck into a block real quick. I can demonstrate it to you. I'm gonna show you why it's very important. So right here, you got Feng doing DF1 into down back 3, and I'm just gonna sidestep duck, just like that. See? Boom. Shut that down. See? Sidestep right there. Another thing I could do. See that? And then I can go for a punish. He does DF1 very linear, and then I can punish with a while standing move. Or again, just sidestep to the right, and then you can punish. Not an easy thing to do, but this is what you're supposed to do to deal with certain things. Oops. Oh, I'm stepping to the wrong side. There we go. Remember, sidestep left. Again, this Feng's DF1 is very linear. If you do a clean sidestep, you will still block, dodge it, but it's weaker to if you step left. So, bam. Yep. You don't always have to get a perfect punish as well. You can just do that. Oops. I'm not doing a good step. There we go. Yep, something like that. I'm a little rusty, but it's fine. And the reason you would like to go to the left is because the Feng player can wager stuff of this nature, down, forward, 3. That is his mix for people who are ducking, and it's a very strong mid. Because remember, if I'm guessing between down, back 3, right, this low. Oops. If I'm thinking about the down back 3 as the mix, right? As his low, right? And I do sidestep left duck, I can punish it, right? And what you're not gonna be dealing with if you're stepping to the left is that mid launcher, because if I try to duck by just not doing the side step left and just full on ducking, this is what's gonna happen. Down 4-3 is just gonna murder you. That's a full launcher for Feng. And again, that is -9 on block, so if you do block it, you can just take your turn back, or you can just backdash it as well. That's also an other option you have as well, because this doesn't have too much range. But again, down back 3 is gonna connect, and that's why you do wage your side step right into a duck and then punish correctly, because it doesn't have a fast recovery window, so you can see very easy to punish. And yeah, that's how you would shut down that mix right there. It's very strong to do side step left duck. And here's some other moves like his down 4-3-2. Just like that. You can do side step left duck. This one has a little bit more tracking because it's like a 2-hit extension. But again, you can side step left duck and then try to block very quick, very hard. Right there, you can see my inputs. I side step left duck into a block. But again, it's a very linear move, and you can die for it. And it's very slow. So if you can read it, you can also interrupt him as well, because that is a 20-frame move. And again, he's -6. But we will also talk about how to deal with his parries, because I feel a lot of people don't know how to deal with that. What else we got? Yeah, same thing for his DF1 down 2, his other low. That one's more linear, so it won't connect even if so you'll be able to punish him hard. Just like that. So you might be asking yourself, okay, does that mean that you can just beat Feng just by side step left into a duck or side step left block? Because remember, not only a lot of people get this, is not always supposed to be side step left duck. It's side step left block, side step left duck. That's fine. Wager those, or you can just sidestep cleanly, sidewalk to the left cleanly, because that's also good options. You have to wager those 3 options, in my opinion. And sometimes you have to wager. You're gonna have to risk it to mash, because then I'm gonna talk to you what I do as a Feng player to stop people OSing, because it's not just simple A and B. It's a lot of layers to it. So me as a Feng player, if I notice that you're stepping me, right, Feng is a special character because he has a 12-frame semi-homing mid. They did nerf it a couple I think season 2. It's -10 on block. And also another thing, they just nerfed it in season 3 is that it does not create pushback on block, so it's way easier to punish. I'm talking about back 4. So this is what Feng players will do to stop you from OSing. See, back 4. So this is why I told you to sidestep left into a block. Sidestep left into a block. You can't always do sidestep left duck, because then the back 4 might clip you just like that. See, I tried to do sidestep left into a duck and I couldn't get back in, couldn't block in time. So sidestep left block is what you're gonna have to wager. Now what happens here is that the Feng player is -10 and you can punish with your 10 frame. Yep. So yeah, another thing you might be asking, okay, then Feng is very hard to OS. Yes and no. You have to look at this at the risk reward. The Feng player is only back 4, so we're gonna check the damage on back 4. It's only oh, I can't see how much that. It's only 10 damage on hit. What is 10 damage on hit really doing? And it creates pushback on block. He's +2, but he still creates pushback. So even if the Feng player will want to do anything there, he has created enough space that most frame traps won't reach you. So here we go. I'll show you. So he does DF1, I get hit by back 4, I backdash, and boom, he dies for trying to frame trap me. So it's basically a neutral situation that you have a little bit more control over if you don't interact. Cool. So yeah, that's what Feng is really wagering there. Again, even if you get hit, you're blocking his DF3. I mean, you're stepping his DF3. You're neutralizing his down back 3. You're neutralizing his DF1, which starts most of his pressure. His jab as well will be stepped. Down forward 2 will be stepped. Even stuff like down forward 4 will be stepped. I'll just show that right quick. There's a little more long range poke. I think I did it wrong. There we go. You can just clean step it as well. It's easier. Feng doesn't have the best step, so that's also another thing. Well, Feng, he doesn't have the best. He has really good KBD, but his side step isn't the best. I do say that. Because he has a weird hitbox. I don't know many people know that. He's a little bit more extended to the front, so some things other characters can step, he wouldn't be able to step. I can just showcase that as well.
Get ready for the next battle.
Oops. Oh. It's more of a range thing as well. If you're very close to Feng, some things just track a little bit better. Because if Feng does it from a farther away distance, it'll whiff most likely. But again, that's why I do say just mix up side walking to the left, or just a clean side step block. See that? Just like that. There we go. But yeah, mix up your side walking and you'll be alright. Because most of the things that he's gonna poke you with ain't gonna do that much damage. Because if you go to the right, you're gonna be getting hit by down forward 3 and things of that nature. Go back to Feng real quick.
Get ready for the next battle.
Another thing, you might be asking, what if Feng does the homing move? This is why I showed you the OS option. If he does the homing move, this is why it's very important to do side step left into a block, just like that. You can even do side step left into a duck. You can see my inputs. I am ducking right there. It's just I'm doing it very quick. His homing move is very slow. It's a very slow homing move. It's very rare for Fangs to hit that on block. Usually it's gonna be on people's get up when they try to get up and try to like move. And also, if you do manage to block it, it is -7, or you can wager mashing. But remember what I told you about the mashing is very risky. All right, so now I'm gonna tell you what is going on the Fangs mindset or what they're trying to do. So Feng's archetype is more of a thousand hits, like 1,000 paper cuts to kill you. You know, I forgot the saying, lol, but I thought death by 1,000 cuts. That's basically what I'm trying to say. So if you're OSing Feng, he's not gonna be launching you like that. I promise you, he's not gonna be launching. If you wagering your side step left duck, side step block, clean side step left, the Feng player is gonna be forced to use slower buttons or lows to open you up. Because eventually those pokes and lows and in that chip damage is gonna start adding up. And I forgot to mention his back three as well. This is why it's also important to sidestep to the left, because you also neutralize his back three, which is his pressure tool, which is +4 on block and it's +6 in stance. And we'll talk about that later and how to deal with his stance mix. But yeah, this is why it's very important. If you gotta go to the right, you see he's gonna hit me just like that. So you're not gonna be neutralizing every. It's a very linear move, right? So that's also that. It's very linear. So, but you're gonna be neutralizing most of his moveset stepping to the left, just like that. That's why it's very important. And yeah, yeah. So Feng, the Feng players are gonna have to do something I do. Not many Feng players do this. I do something called realigning, like delaying my buttons, and this is where timing comes into a factor. If you try to step, so I'm gonna have this Feng step to the left, and then I'm gonna try to delay my button. See, even though I'm delaying it, sometimes it's not gonna connect because it's very linear. But just like that, I have to do a backdash or wait, just like that, to realign with you. So sometimes you have to time your step for somebody like me, because I might know that you're gonna be trying to move. Or I'll do DF1, dash up DF1, back 3, dash up back 3 to realign with you. And what does that lead to? What that leads to is that now you, as the opponent, can now start mashing or doing clean sidewalks versus me. Just like that, see? You can wager mashing or clean sidewalks. And what's that going to lead into is then again the Feng player is going to try to check you by trying to take his frames back, and you can manipulate him of the options. You can again wager sidestep left into a duck, sidestep left, block, sidestep left, sidewalk, things of that nature, and then just wager mashing. Or you can start armoring him, right? But be careful the armors, because down back 3 is very strong. So basically what the Feng player is gonna be doing is that he's gonna try to like be annoying with his pokes. And whatever you do, I would definitely recommend don't duck as much, because down forward 3 is gonna open you up, and then boom, you're eating a full line. And yeah, down 4. So this is another powerful thing that Feng has. Not many characters have this. Is that his down 4? Let me show you. His down 4 is very strong because it tracks both ways. It's a really good low. This is an amazing low. So I step to the left, I step to the right. See that? I'm even trying to sidewalk. I can't step it. Again, you can also just do sidestep of left duck. But again, that's when back 4 becomes a problem. And the Feng might start doing it. You're gonna be poked down of that nature, right? But again, if you block back 4, you will kill him. Another thing, just to remind you, is that Feng's back 1 is -12 on block. But again, it's a very linear move, very linear. You can step it to the left, or you can just block it, and you can do a 12 frame punish. Yep. So yeah, again with the Feng player, they're gonna be trying to mostly chip you down with his pokes, chip damage, realigning, and that leaves the Feng player open to be to get hit on his delay timing. Because that's how I usually deal with people OSing me when they're trying to step me to my weak side, is that I delay my timing and it leads me to get punished by counter hit because I'm delaying my buttons. But again, that's when the layers come in. That's when I start, okay, now I'm deciding, okay, I'm gonna take my frames, but by me taking my frames, I can also just get it OS, or they can challenge in a different way. Yeah, so that's how you do a Feng. One more thing. So something I've noticed, I'm not gonna downplay. I've noticed that Feng's shoulder is very strong. Sometimes this move does track to his weak side, but sometimes it doesn't. See that? But again, if he do side step block, see that? You can also just sidewalk it. But if you do side step block, like I showed you earlier, because you don't gotta be afraid of the lows, they're not gonna kill you. I promise you. They're not gonna kill you. And I'll talk about his better low, his best mix-up low. It QCF1. So yeah, again, see how that tracks. Let me go to the right, just to showcase. See, very good tracking. There are some situations in where the Feng can do the for example, say he does it from distance, right? Distance, then you probably have a chance to step it. But again, that's why you do side step block. See, sometimes I step it, sometimes I don't. Right. The side step block is very strong. But I'm gonna be real with you, not a lot of Feng players are just gonna do this willy-nilly because it's -19 on block. It's -19 on block. He's completely launch punishable. You get a full combo. Most of this stuff that's gonna be wagering a good reward is gonna leave him very minus, leave him open to a side step, or he's just gonna be punishable at general just punishable. But there are some situations that his shoulder is not gonna connect. So if you have a good side step, a good character, a good movement, you probably can just step it most of the time. I'm not too sure. I've fought against some people who just completely shut my shoulder down when I'm in heat. And I mean by that is that when I'm in heat is when I'm gonna do shoulder. That's me. That's how it's a 13 frame mid check that stops people from ducking or stops people from mashing in certain situations. So let me turn on my heat. Let me record this. Oops. Oh, not my heat. It has to be the opponent's heat. There we go. Boom. And we're gonna turn this. We're gonna record this. So this is where you gotta be careful, because when Feng's in heat, he is that's his strongest version. Just like any character. Just like that, see? Against side step left duck, or you can just wager match, right? You can wager maybe an armor. You can wager dig jab, but there are some situations where that wouldn't work, like that. Hold up. I'm plus block. I'm +4. So it's a complete frame trap. But again, you can also armor, even though he's +4 right there. But you see how good the tracking is right there? It's really good. It's a really good mid check. That's why you will want, when he's in heat, don't be afraid to just block. Just let him waste his heat, so you don't want to have to deal with it. Side step left block, or you can just figure out when he might do it and try to interrupt it. In this situation, my only option will be armor. But again, even if it's on heat and he does the dash, he's +5, so you still have a chance to mitigate some of the options. Now he's out of heat, and now he has to go back to 1,000 cuts to till death, right? So yeah, but I'm telling you, there are some situations that my shoulder will not connect. If you try to sidestep to the left, it will not work. It's very like, there's not many situations like that though, so that's something you're just gonna have to deal with. I know it's ridiculous, but I've seen it happen that people do step it to the left, and it's easier to and they'll just mitigate it. Because again, if you step to the left, you're mitigating this. This is the most dangerous move he has, is the down forward 3. This is really strong. Alright. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about certain sequences. So you're not gonna be a defense god. I don't expect y'all to be defense gods or understand. Oh, you can't OS every single scenario. So we're gonna talk about what happens when you get hit by a certain scenario. So me as a Feng player, I would do a lot of down back 3s and a lot of down 2s. First, we're gonna talk about down back 3. Down back 3 is +4 on hits. So the most dangerous thing you could do is do a very hold up. I gotta set this to offense, block, punish, and to crouching. So right here, if you do a dig jab, so your dig jab is 10 frames. What the Feng player can do is he can do while sitting 4 and while sitting 1-2 to frame trap you. That's what happens when you try to match. But you will beat out his while sitting 2, right? But again, I just wouldn't recommend people dig jabbing here, even though it's the fastest option, because while sitting 4 leads into a counter hit, and he's +29, so he gets a guaranteed back 3, and now you got to deal with his pressure. It's very dangerous. While sitting 2 is he gets almost he gets 33 damage, 31 damage. And if he reads that you might mash, he might do the heat extension, which is 55 damage for mashing right there. I don't do that, by the way. I only do while sitting 1-2. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about that string in a bit. But yeah, and let's say you do a while sitting 4. Say you're gonna do a while sitting 4, right? To interrupt, right? Well, Fang's a little bit different because that's what happens. But with any other character, you're getting fully launched. You're getting fully launched. And to showcase like a launch, that's counter hit. I don't think I can really like get a launch right there. There we go. Yeah, there we go. That's what's gonna happen. Fang's while sitting 4, a counter hit property just does that. So Fang is pretty good in his own matchup when it comes to that aspect. But any other character, you're not gonna get that same trade. I'm getting a full combo, just like this, something like this, right? Not the full thing, but you know, look at all that wall carry. I'm at the wall. Now you gotta take my mix. All right. So, what do I do? What do you do versus that? Okay. So what you're gonna have to do defensively is that you're gonna have to try to also sidestep to the left, I believe. Let's see. Yep, sidestep left. So his while sitting 2 is gonna miss. But I'm gonna say this: his while sitting 4 is sometimes his while sitting 4 is gonna hit you. But as you can see, it is whiffing sometimes. So again, wage your sidestep block, sidestep left block. Because the most dangerous thing that he has right here would definitely be his Washington 2. You don't know, because Washington 2 on normal hit, this is what happens on normal hit. He gets plus 29. So that's you want to just, you'd rather eat the Washington 4 than eat the Washington 2, because that's gonna be a lot more damage. It's 29 on hit, and then he gets a guaranteed back 3. So yeah. Okay. And also, you're gonna have to wager sidestep into a duck, because Feng does have a full crouch mix right here. He has full crouch 4. Yeah, I'm gonna showcase. Just like that right there, you can see my inputs. I sidestep left into a duck. Just like that. And then he gets launched for it. I do want to say, a lot of people don't know this, but the Feng player doesn't need to finish it. So he can just do it by himself. It's like a little mix. He doesn't need to finish it, and he can just block. So what you have to wager is that you're going to have to react. Again, I don't expect y'all to be defense guys. That is guaranteed. Any 13 frame and 14 frame. So if you're playing Lee Chalan, Kazuya, you can always get basically a free launcher. It doesn't matter if he cancels or finishes it. That's always going to be guaranteed. Yep. Again, it's very hard to do. I'm gonna be realistic here. This is something like, again, most of the stuff that he's gonna be trying to hit at you is not gonna launch you. You feel me? If you press into him, it's gonna launch you. If you don't press into him, he loses his turn, or he just chips you down a little bit. You're not really dying for not doing anything. That's something you gotta realize. You're not dying for not doing anything. And if you get that hard read, he's gonna always do Washington 4. Again, if he does Washington 4, he loses his turn, and you can just take it back. You feel me? But I'm gonna tell you why that's very dangerous. You gotta keep the frames already. He's -7. You're gonna see why that's dangerous in a bit. We're gonna talk about the parry setups and all that type of stuff. I do want to say, if you can tell by the range he hits you with like down back 4, a down back 3, you can also just step most of his options. See, from here, some characters have really good steps. So again, just like that. Same thing for his Washington too. Just like that, you can just you can backdash it. And again, if you most of the things that Feng's gonna hit you are gonna be like slower moves. And if you can peep that the Feng player is just trying to get in with down back 3, you can kind of like realize, okay, he might try to get in with down back 3, just preemptively duck it, make that hard call out, because all his all his safer lows are very close range. You know, I'm not gonna be hitting you down 2 from like where down back 3 is hitting you. Look at that, see that? It's a very long range. QCF, right? QCF1. We talk about QCF1 in a bit too. Also very linear low as well. It's very linear. So you don't gotta do, you can also, like, if he does DF1 into QCF, he can just sidestep left duck again, or just sidestep left. It's very linear. But again, yeah, see that? So the Feng, me as a Feng player, I'm only gonna do Washington 2 if I know you're gonna be mashing. Alright. Okay. So we talk about the OS. We talked about that. Oh, he also has a different full crouch option. This is his other low from full crouch, which is a little bit more safer. And I do say it does track to his yeah, it does track to his weak side. But again, that's why you would do sidestep left to a duck and neutralize that. See that? Pretty good range. Right. Or if you can make the hard read, you can also just step it to the other side, I believe. I'm not too sure. He is +4 here. No, not in this sequence. We'll talk about the when you'll probably be able to sidestep that. See that? So yeah. Again, he's not really he's not going to be really killing you with these things, right? You might get hit here and there, but it's not like you're getting knocked down. It's not like you're getting counter hit. If you just block and assess what the Feng player is doing and make the good reads, you will make the Feng work harder than what he needs to, and it'll be harder for him to kill you. All right. Now we're going to talk about his other low is down to, oh, actually I forgot one thing. So me as a Feng player, what I've tried to stop people from OSing me on instant timing is that I would do while setting 2, while setting 1-2. I mean, while setting 1-2 is super good because even if you try to step, see that? But again, sidestep left duck into a block. I'm doing sidestep left duck into a block. So really, like, I'm basically just gonna tell you can't really move at the same time. Like, sidestep left into a duck and see I'm blocking it. See? And then it's a little hard. Like, again, you have so many other things you gotta worry about. So it's a little harder. Not easy to do. Punish. And I do want to say, well, when it comes to Washington 1-2, he does have the extension, but he can heavily delay. If he delays it, you can also make the read of just you can step it to the left, or you can try to interrupt it. All right, because usually people, when people see this, they're gonna try to like they're not gonna try to punish it because they're the people's reactions. But if you do something too slow, you get counter hit, and he gets a guaranteed shoulder right there. So just remember that. And again, if he finishes it, it is a -14 on block. So if you're playing Paul, or you're playing Brian, you feel me? You get a free launch, and as a Feng player, only get shoulder, and that's devastating damage. You basically get a free knockdown. Yep. If he does it really quick. Alright. Now we're gonna talk about his other low. Down 2, we already talked about sidestep left. You can sidestep left this. So what if it does connect? If it does connect, it's pretty good low in my opinion. It's one of his better lows, just like down 4. Safer on block. I think it's only -12. Yep. -12. And right here, as you can see, I'm -1. So me as a Feng player, okay, I'm -1 here. This is where people will try to mash on me a little bit more because they think, oh, I'm -1. It's not really my turn. Blah blah blah. So me as a Feng player, you know, I try to manipulate those people or people who try to like interact there. So for example, we can have him do a dig jab, right? Oops, I have him at block all. Yeah. He tried to do jig jab. Anything I do will lose. Oops, and I'm not having him. Oh, never mind. Wrong place. This is he is standing here, so I have to do it from yeah. So right here, if the opponent does a 10 frame jab, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. A 10 frame jab, my Washington 4 is gonna lose, but my dig jab will probably beat it out because it crushes highs and it's a special mid +6, right? So my dig jab will win. I do want to say there's some. So this is a little thing about when it comes. It's kind of weird by Feng. He can sometimes crush your high. He sometimes can crush a high. It just depends on the person's option. He can't crush every high, And the buttons that's gonna happen is with his while sitting too, but it doesn't happen often, I do want to say. So just make sure if you're watching this video, if you don't play Feng's 1-2 is not gonna get crushed. But I do want to say some other characters, make sure you lab it, see if your character gets crushed, and just be careful with that, okay? So yeah, but if he does while sitting 4, while sitting 2, I get beaten out. So okay, that's not really bad. Okay, but then he can do his full crouch option, full crouch 1, which does crush all the time. It's a low crushing mid because he's unducked. He will crush you. See that? So okay, maybe the opponent might decide, okay, nah, man, I'm not holding that. I'm doing my mid. Cool. He does a mid. Guess what? My watching 4 is gonna beat him out. Remember, the fastest mid is usually 13 frames. We can even do it while back 4. Let's see what happens here. It's gonna trade, and it's gonna be in Feng's favor because he's plus 23, as you can see right there. Even people with like a 12 frame, his watching 4 gives him that special interaction on counter him, and he's plus. That's what's usually gonna happen. Oh, he's just gonna beat you out straight out because 13 frames is definitely gonna lose here, and that's what's gonna have plus 29. Right? Again, if they do a high, you beat it out. But if you do a mid, I can just do the watching 4 option. If you do a high, full crouch option. Another thing, I can also wager movement. I can just step you. You feel me? Even if you do just a high. Just like that, see? But again, if you do a high, full crouch 1, depending what he does, the Feng can just step you and kill you. And then bam. Yep. Alright, okay, Toki, you just showed us that. Okay, what else can the Feng do? So, as you can see from full crouch 1, right here, this situation, basically the mind game is the same, but I'm a little bit more, I'm more minus. And here's a special thing that I can wager. If you try to do a jab check, like a 10 frame punch, Feng has a special thing, his full crouch punch parry, in which he can set this up right here, just like that. See that? I'm not too sure if a 13 frame jab, 13 frame mid punch will also get parried. Let me check right quick. This is 14 frame, so I don't think so. Yeah. But again, this is what happens if you do a mid. Boom. Actually, I do think that a 13 frame mid punch will also get parried. It's just that Feng's is 14 frames, so it's a little bit, the activation just won't work. Just like that. Yep. So again, if you do a mid, watching 4 is gonna beat you out. If you do a high, he might try to wager this. And yeah. And he can also just do the full crouch low again, and you can see he's gonna get chipped down. So what would you do here? Again, you can just wager movement. You can just wager movement, because again, remember what I'm talking about, his weak side is to the left. Here, because he's a little bit minus, that will hit you, right? So you can, if he hits you full crouch 1, you can step to the, this is where I would say step to the, no, I would still say step to the left. I would say step to the left. Step to the left. But you can also wager stepping to the right. But right here, because he's minus, it's just like, I don't know if people know this, when you're minus, things track a little bit better because his mind. Actually, if you're minus, your options track a little bit better. So this is a sequence where an option will track better because he's more minus. But again, he can do this full crouch low. He can do the full crouch low again, and see that he can't really do the full crouch. So if you do side step left duck, side step left cleanly, sidewalk, you'll be good on that aspect as well. So just make sure you're doing that. And it's okay to sometimes mash. Like, I'm not telling you, yo, just block everything. Yo, sometimes you're gonna have to mash because you're not just gonna be blocking all this shit. It's gonna be, this is a skill check upon you as the player, that you're gonna have to figure out when you're supposed to mash and when are you supposed to block, and try to make a good read on your defense with this OS technique, or just stepping left on, stepping to Feng's weak side. You feel me? But yeah, this Feng, usually some characters. Oh, here's a this is why I'm saying 2-1 track here. But yeah, when it comes to Feng, just remember stepping to the left is really key, and just like smart mashes. Dig jab is also pretty good versus Feng, so just remember you can wager that as well. Let me see. What else do I got for y'all? So yeah, oh yeah, that punch parry is also linear, so that's why I'm also telling you to step left, because you can also just step back. All right. Let's talk about more of his stances and his parry setups and his back four. That's what we're gonna go to next. So, oh, hopefully I've been recording. I have been recording. Actually, I'm probably gonna have to. So we're gonna go over his stances real quick. I think I got 9 minutes on this video. The parry. We're gonna try to get through his stances and his back four. So we're gonna go over his back four. His back four is -10 on block, and a lot of things I see is that people don't duck the high. The high is launch punishable if you duck it. I can just make him do it right quick. So high, and high, and then boom, just like that. I do want to say, maybe you don't duck it. This is when I'll tell you if lock in, please. If you don't duck it, please lock in. But if you don't duck it, in order not to get mixed, you can just do a simple dig jab. So say he does back 4-2, then duck the high, dig jab will stop most of his options. For example, I could do back Boston 4. CD1. Those are the options that he's probably gonna try to mix. Boom. Boom. Yep. And if a Feng player does figure out that you're trying to, like, you're trying to dig jab, right? If you don't duck it, you're leaving yourself open to get red. So it's very important to duck that, because then you can the Feng player can just low parry you. Just like that, see? So be careful with that. Make sure you duck that. And the true mix, only in heat, keyword in heat, Feng can wager a mid. Back 4-3+4. So I'm gonna teach you how to do. It's only in heat, so this is when the mix actually becomes a little harder to deal with, because this is only, you can only wager this in heat. You can jab it out the air, just like how I did right now, and you get a full combo, or you can also just step it, just like that. Both ways. It has to be a clean step. So I'm gonna be real with you. You're gonna have to practice this. This is very hard to do because of the angle of the that you side step. You see that? You see how I get his back instead? Just be careful. And if you don't know what he's gonna do, the reason it's very dangerous to do this when he's in heat is that his high. If you say I'm trying to jab him out the air, you just shut it down. I get counter hit by that, and I'm negative like 25. Plus, yeah, negative 25. He gets a free mix basically, and if I try to move, I get hit by the 2. All right, so we got 5 more minutes to see. Again, this is where the OS on his back 3 is gonna be very important. And why his stance is very strong. I do want to say when he's in stance, he's extremely strong. Extremely strong. So we're going to go over them one by one. So the first thing I just want to tell you is that you can step his full crouch 1 to the right when he's in stance. He also has the mid, which you can also step both ways. And this is where it changes. With some characters, you in the neutral or when it comes to their poking or like being up close, you want to step them to the weak side. When it comes to this character, when he's in stance, it's actually better to step to the right, because you will most likely it'd be harder for them to mix. See? But this is where it becomes very strong with Feng. Some characters can step while swinging forward. Feng cannot. So you can just see in the lab if you can step the Washington forward, but Feng himself cannot. And yet you can't do nothing here. You can't power crush. You can't even dig jab. You have to hold his mix. Yep. And then but if you block it, he's -7, so you can just take your turn back. And he does have his Washington too, which is also sidestep to the right. Never mind. I don't think you can sidestep it to the right, but it's -14 on block. So that's why you wager sidestep right into a block. Cool. And again, if try to showcase. Boom. Sidestep right duck OS. Boston 4 hits me again. I'm not really dying for that sidestep 4. Sidestep right OS. I'm fine with that. Look at the risk reward if I do get the sidestep OS. But again, if the Feng player is trying to sees that you're trying to OS, you can just let the 2 go. I'm gonna be real with you. That is something I don't do. I do not play risky like that. I won't wager the 2. That's just me though. Again, you can just sidestep block, just like that. I won't risk the 2. But sometimes something I learned recently is that sometimes you gotta do that risky thing. All right. So I'm gonna stop there. I don't have enough time. This only got 60 minutes. I only got 3 minutes. Actually 2 minutes left. Thank y'all for watching. By the way, I did this mostly for you, my boy, Super Abu, because you been telling me that Feng has been fucking you up. Hopefully you learned from this. I'll probably make a part 2 next week. Thank y'all. Hopefully y'all follow. Toki Unchained. Should be Toki X Show on YouTube. Follow my TikTok. I'll put it in the description. Thank you.